10 ongoing mega projects in Ivory Coast 2022. Ivory Coast, also known as Côte d'Ivoire, is a country located on the south coast of West Africa. The country is a sovereign nation in West Africa that originally was a serious coffee and cocoa producer, but in the 1980s went through an economic crisis. After that, the main export is agriculture and has remained so well into the 21st century. The Ivorian government intends to lift millions of people out of poverty and also to boost its economy through investing in many projects. In this video, we are going to count down the 10 amazing mega projects in Ivory Coast that will vastly improve their economy and national well-being. But first, if you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Number 10. Abatta Village Development in Abidjan. Extending over 3 hectares of greenery in Abatta near Biovea in Abidjan, the capital city of Côte d'Ivoire, Abatta Village is a residential complex that is being built by Arabian Construction Company, a dynamic and progressive organization that has grown to become one of the leading companies in the construction industry. The development features a total of 226 apartments divided into 190 apartments ranging from townhouse duplex apartments, 5-room to 2-room apartments, 3-room apartment and 4-room apartments to 5-room apartment. It also has commercial and leisure spaces including a pedestrian promenade with a marina and restaurant area, a clubhouse with its restaurant and nursery, a gym and 3 sports fields, a swimming pool with a children's pool and a shopping gallery. This is an addition to an office building and more than 40% green spaces, not to mention the integration of optical fiber for the creation of a real smart city. To ensure a harmonious and secure living environment in the future, Abatta Village, the developer, aims at the establishment of rules of life aiming at respect for life in community, creation of a friendly living space focused on the pooling of common spaces, an invitation to discover the notion of a residential area, access control at the entrance to the complex and each block, video surveillance integrated, and varied amenities. 9. F Tower Development in Abidjan. The F Tower is an administrative and office building that is being developed in Abidjan, the capital city of Ivory Coast. Standing at a height of 283 meters and with a total of 64 floors, the tower includes a 200-seat auditorium on the first floor and a space for ceremonies with a very high ceiling. The facade of the tower consists of double skin, inward and outward sloping facets that are connected together by connecting rods. The edges of the outer vitreous skin are highlighted by hollow black bands while the rest of the skin is smooth. The glazing is reminiscent of African fabrics with inclined reflective white bands that contrast with bands treated with bluish toned glazing. At night, the tower is designed to be illuminated like a torch springing from the heart of the plateau. Upon completion, the F Tower is expected to be the tallest building in Côte d'Ivoire and the 3rd tallest building in the entire African continent, after the 385-meter iconic tower in Egypt and the 320 pinnacle tower in Kenya. The F Tower is developed by the Ivorian Ministry of Construction, Housing and Urban Planning in partnership with PFO Africa, a local company that specializes in complex and large-scale projects in all areas of construction and public works, and which doubles as the F Tower designer. Basics, an international construction, property development, and concessions company based in Brussels, is the project manager and civil engineer. 8. Solar panels at data center in Grand Bassam. Orange has tapped Energie to install solar panels at its Ivory Coast data center. The Telco Tier's 3rd certified GOS data center was built in 2016 in Grand Bassam, Côte d'Ivoire, on a site covering 16,600 square meters. It hosts IT and telecommunication equipment supporting services for all 18 of the company's African and Middle Eastern subsidiaries. In December 2021, Orange signed an Energie as a service contract with Energie to convert the GOS to solar power by installing a solar plant on rooftops and solar carports for a total installed capacity of 355 kilowatt power. The commissioning is scheduled for the second half of 2022. The project will see Energie install 784 photovoltaic cells and will provide the data center with an estimated 527 megawatt-hour per year of renewable energy, and this will cover close to 60% of the 1.3 megawatt facility's daytime consumption. Orange aims to be carbon neutral by 2040, while the government of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire aims to make the country an energy hub by 2030 with 42% of renewables in its energy mix. 7. Scaling solar photovoltaic power plants. In 2019, the Ivory Coast and its International Finance Corporation, the World Bank's private sector subsidiary, signed an agreement for the launch of Scaling Solar, an initiative that aims to facilitate private investment into solar power development projects in emerging markets. The construction of 2 solar parks of 60 MW each will be located in Labwa in the country's northeast and another in Touba in the central west department of Mbaki. In June 2021, the Ivorian government launched the pre-qualification for financing, construction and operation of both solar power plants. Selected independent power producers will be in charge of the construction and operation of the plants for a 25-year period. Energy produced will be sold under a power purchase agreement with the Compagnie Ivoirienne d'Electricité. Ivory Coast is the 3rd country in West Africa to benefit from the Scaling Solar program. Before that, the IFC had settled in Togo. In this country, solar power plants will be built with a combined capacity of 90 MW power. Senegal is the first West African country to benefit from the program with an expected capacity of 60 MW power. 6. Abujar Gold Project. The Abujar Gold Project is an open-pit gold mine being developed in Côte d'Ivoire, West Africa by Australian exploration company Tieto Minerals. Through its 90% owned subsidiary Biovea Gold, Tieto Minerals applied for a mining license within the Abuja Middle Tenement in July 2020. It received the license in December 2020. Tieto Minerals has an 88% interest in the project, while the Côte d'Ivoire government owns a 10% share and the remaining 2% is held by local partners. A definitive feasibility study for the project was completed in October 2021, which highlighted a mine life of 11 years with an estimated production capital investment of approximately $200 million. The Abujar Gold Project is located approximately 30 km away from the city of Daloa in central western Côte d'Ivoire. The nearest start road and grid power connections are located approximately 15 km from the site. The project is expected to be commissioned by the 4th quarter of 2022. Upgrading of access roads Phase 1. The project involves the upgrading of access roads to cross-border areas, which is part of the WEMO Community Action Programme on the road transport infrastructure. The program has several components and also identified a sub-program of 2,063 km of cross-border roads, of which 285 km lie on Côte d'Ivoire territory. These modern dirt roads are in very poor condition with geometric and structural features that make them ill-adapted to the traffic volume, rainfall and topography of the area. Phase 1 will involve the construction of cross-border roads in the Bunduku area, including the Bunduku-Soko-Ghana border highway. The expected project outcomes are reduced transport costs, increased traffic on the highway and development of economic activities, improved farming and agricultural produce marketing, and improved living conditions for local communities. Implementation of the project will take 4 years to completion. 4. Biovea Energie Biomass Power Plant. Ivory Coast is building Africa's first biomass power plant 100 km east from Abidjan. The project is being carried out and operated by Biovea Energie, a company incorporated under Ivorian law owned by France's EDF, Meridiam, and Biocola, and will be financed in part by the aforementioned consortium, Proparco, an Agence Française de Développement subsidiary for the private sector, an Emerging Africa Infrastructure Fund. Upon completion, the power plant will have the capacity to generate 336 GWh of energy per year, supplying 1.7 million people on a yearly basis. The biomass fuel will necessitate 450,000 tons of palm waste, coming principally from small-scale farmers, thus promoting the agricultural sector and increasing the yearly income of about 12,000 farmers by 20%. Also, the construction of the plant will create about 500 jobs and another 1,000 permanent positions after completion. The project aims to tackle deforestation and extensive agriculture through the promotion of good agricultural practices and by increasing crop yields. Construction of the plant started in 2021 and is scheduled to open in September 2024. Number 3. Abidjan Metro. The Abidjan Metro is a 37.5 km rapid transit network serving the Ivorian economic capital of Abidjan. Its construction started in November 2017 with the beginning of passenger service expected in 2022 to 2023. Initially planned to comprise a single line with 13 stations, undertaken by Bouygues d'Oxan, a French-Korean consortium, the project has since then been expanded to a single north-south line with 20 stations, financed 100% by France and built solely by 3 French groups, Bouygues, via its subsidiaries Bouygues Travaux Publics and Colas Rail, Alstom and Keolis after the withdrawal of the South Korean partners from the consortium in October 2017. Built mostly as an overground and elevated railway in order to avoid more costly tunnels, its automated trains with a driver present in cabin will be able to run at a top speed of 80 km per hour and a maximum frequency of 100 seconds. Line 1 of the Abidjan Metro is expected to transport 500,000 passengers per day. Construction of Line 1 cost $1.7 billion, which is entirely financed by France via the French Treasury and the French Development Agency. The Ivorian government is planning for a second line of the Abidjan Metro, an east-west line which should run from Yopougon to Bingaville. The urban and suburban rail transport system will connect the Anyama and Port Bouet suburbs of Abidjan. Hopefully, Abidjan will become the third African city with high-capacity urban metro upon commissioning of the system. The Abidjan Metro will be able to carry more than 500,000 passengers a day. Number 2. Singrobo Hydroelectric Power Station. The Singrobo Ahouaty Hydropower Development Project on the Bandama River addresses the Ivorian government's concern to diversify the energy mix following an increase in thermal power generation in recent years. The government of Côte d'Ivoire plans to invest heavily in the generation, transmission and distribution segments of the electric power sector and to implement an ambitious electrification program for 2,100 villages at a rate of 700 villages per year over a 3-year period. The project comprises the design, development, operation, and transfer of a 44 megawatt hydroelectric plant and a 3.5 kilometer transmission line, and subtraction to evacuate the power generated onto an existing transmission line. It is operating under a 35-year concession agreement with the government of Côte d'Ivoire. The transaction supporting this project is a 15-year $45 million loan to Ivory's Energie SAS. The loan granted under the private sector window of the African Development Bank also aims to promote and support Ivorian private entrepreneurship through financial support and expertise provided to the local promoter of the hydroelectric power station. The project increases the proportion of renewable energies while improving the sector's financial viability. Its implementation comprises 2 main components: the primary installation comprising the main dam, the water intake structure, the spillway, power plant and tail raise channel, and the second is related infrastructure comprising transmission lines and the interconnection substation. The Singrobo plant is expected to be operational come 2023, supplying electricity to the main Ivorian national utility Energie under a 35-year power purchase agreement. Number 1. Atinkou Ciprel 5 Thermal Power Station. Atinkou Thermal Power Station is a 390 megawatt natural gas-fired thermal power plant under construction in Tabot village near the town of Jacquesville in Ivory Coast. This new modern power station is intended to replace the old inefficient thermal power stations, including the 200 megawatt Agrico thermal power plant, the 100 megawatt Vridi thermal power plant, and the 99 megawatt Ciprel 1 thermal power plant. The Atinkou power station is also expected to form the base load backbone on which to attach intermittent solar and hydroelectric supply. The power station is a combined cycle installation with 2 phases, built separately but intended to work in synchronized harmony. The first cycle is expected to be built over an 18-month period, using a 255 megawatt gas turbine. In this phase, natural gas is mixed with air and ignited. The hot air produced turns the turbine to generate electricity. The second phase, which is expected to be added after the first, comprises the addition of a heat recovery boiler and a 135 megawatt steam turbine over a 9-month period to form a 390 megawatt combined cycle power station. The heat recovery boiler extracts some of the heat from the first cycle and uses it to heat water, producing steam. The steam is then used to produce more electricity without any new natural gas. Total energy output by Atinkou power station is calculated at 2,800 gigawatt hour annually. Thanks for watching, and this concludes our coverage of the top 10 ongoing mega projects in Ivory Coast. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment, and also share it with your friends.